Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all who are listening. My name is Jason, and we're at From Heroes to Icons, and this is our must-have comic book pull list of March 10th, 2020. And just want to say hi to everybody. How is everyone doing on today at the time of this recording? It is Friday, March 6th, kind of early in the morning. And we just want to give a shout out to Bill at Economics and Comics for his fine little interview of the president of CBCS. We were thinking of sending some books over there. And we saw, I guess, the prototypes for the new slabs they were going to have. And I guess the slabs will be rolling out by the end of this month or the beginning of April. And the reason I'm even saying anything about them is because of the fact that I do sketches on the comic book blank covers, and I got a few people waiting for some books, but I wanted to have them slabbed first. And CBCS was kind enough to give me a paper to fill out that after submitted, either for grading or for art, that it would have a yellow label on it. So that's kind of cool. I'll actually have a slab with my name on it with a yellow label, which is pretty dope. But don't have too much to talk about today besides what's coming out. So we're going to jump into these books. As always, most of the time, we're going to start off with DC Comics. First up, we have Aquaman, 100-page giant number 3. And I'm just an Aquaman fan, so that's just me. Batman and the Outsiders, number 11, by Brian Hill and Dexter Soy. Cover A is by Tyler Kirkham, and cover B is by Gabriel Dell'Otto. And that is a horizontal cover of Ra's al Ghul. Fantastic. We have Batman 89, the second print, which is the first cameo of Punchline. So if you didn't get the first print, try to grab that second print. Batman's Grave number 6 by Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch. Cover A is by Brian Hitch, and cover B, which is very nice this time, is by Ji Hung Lee. Catwoman number 21 by Joel Jones and Fernando Blanco. Joel Jones is doing cover A, and Ian McDonald gives us another stunning cover B. Detective Comics number 38 Facsimile, which I believe this is the first appearance of Dick Grayson as Robin. That's definitely a great book to have. I think that's beyond some of our pay grades, most definitely. We have $2 comics from DC today. We have Batman number 428 and Robin number 1. I guess it's Robin's anniversary, so they're rolling out some books with that. 2 weeks in a row, Flash number 751 by Joshua Williamson and Rafa Sandoval. Cover A, fire, by Howard Porter, and cover B is by Ji Gyun Yoon. Green Lantern Season 2, number 2 by Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp. Liam Sharp is doing cover A, and Nicholas Scott is doing cover B. Ruby number 6 by Margaret Bennett and Megan Hetrick. Sarah Stone is doing cover A, and Jakuri is doing cover B. And I believe he also has signed copies of this on the Art Germ selling website. Superman number 21 by Brian Michael Bendis, Joe Prado, and Ivan Reyes. Reyes and Prado is doing cover A, and Brian Hitch is doing cover B. The Terrifics number 26 by Jean Louis Yang and Dan Mora. Definitely a book to pick up. And I believe that's the only book left from that new line of books that DC had put out. And last book from DC is Wonder Woman 753 by Steve Orlando, and one of my old school favorites from Star Wars Republic, Jan Duursema. Cover A is by Rob Shinrosha, and cover B is by Jay Lee. Oh, my bad. That's not the last book. And Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen number 3 also has a second print. So for many of us that didn't get cover the first print, make sure you grab that reprint right there. Moving over to Image Comics, we have Decorum #1 by Jonathan Hickman and Mike Huddleston. Huddleston is both doing cover A and cover B, and Jamie McCleavy is doing cover C, which I don't believe I have up there. Maybe not. Sonata #9 by David Hine and Brian Haberlin. Haberlin is both doing cover A and cover B. Another new book from Image, Stealth #1 by Mike Costa and Nate Bellingrad. And that's it for Image Comics. Got a few books for our indies this week. We have Adler #2 by Lavi Tidhar and Paul McCaffrey. Love those Sherlock Holmes type books. Cover A is by Butch Geis. Cover B is by Paul McCaffrey. And cover C is a Victorian variant. Jim Henson Storyteller, Ghost #1. Art and story by Mark Laszlo. Cover A is by Michael Walsh. Cover B is by Mark Laszlo. And cover C is by Lorenzo De La Fece. Niobe, She Is Death #3 by Sebastian Jones and Sheldon Mitchell. Cover A is by Sheldon Mitchell, and cover B, of course, is by Jay Lee. Rise #6. I think this is like 4 months late or something like that. It is written and drawn by Don Aguilo. Pretty nice fantasy book, all painted, and one cover for that. Last up, we have Ronan Island #11 by Breg Pack and Giannis. Giannis is doing cover A, and Ethan Young is doing cover B. Last here, we have Marvel Comics, The Amazing Spider-Man 41. And the only reason he made the list this week is because Ryan Otley is drawing the pencils. Nick Spencer and Ryan Otley is doing it. Cover A is by Ryan Otley, and cover B is by Ryan Brown. Let us pray for better storylines for Spider-Man and consistent artwork. Avengers #30 reprint. This is the first appearance of the Baby Star brand, as you can see from the cover. And Avengers #32 by Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness. Ed McGuinness is doing cover A, and Mike McCone is giving us cover B, which is a Spider-Woman variant. New Dawn of X books, Cable #1, aka Kid Cable, by Jerry Dugan and Phil Noto. Phil Noto is doing cover A. Cover B is a black blank variant. Cover C is by Scotty Young. Cover D is by Scott Forbes. Cover E is by Nick Bradshaw. Cover F is an incentive variant, Old School by Greg Capullo. If it wasn't so expensive, I'd definitely grab it. Looks wonderful. Captain Marvel, #14 also is getting a second print on that, and that's when she fights She-Hulk. Ghost Rider #6 by Ed Brisson and Juan Ferreira. Cover A is by Aaron Cooter. Cover B is by Ji-Jun Lee. And cover C is a design variant by Aaron Cooter. The Immortal Hulk #32 by Al Ewing and Joe Bennett. Alex Ross is doing cover A, and Patrick Zurcher is giving us cover B, which is a Spider-Woman variant. Marvel Tales, The Silver Surfer by Jerry Conway, Roy Thomas, John and Sal Buscema. And the cover is by In-Huk Lee. Marvelous. The New Mutants #9 by Jonathan Hickman and Flaviano. And cover A only is by Mike Del Mundo. Star Wars Bounty Hunters #1 by Ethan Sachs and Paulo Villanelli. Yeah, I believe that's it. Cover A is by Lee Bermejo. Cover B is a movie variant of Boba Fett. Cover C is by Carrie Andrews. Cover D is an incentive cover by Michael Golden. And cover E is a blank sketch variant. Star Wars Darth Vader #2, I believe this is, by Greg Pak and Raphael Inco. In-Huk Lee is doing cover A, and cover B is an incentive variant. The first of the snapshots by Alex Ross. Submariner Snapshot number 1 by Alan Burnett, Kurt Busiek, and Jerry Ordway. Alex Ross is doing cover A, and Gabriel Dell'Otto is doing cover B. Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality. I think this is number 3. Y'all gotta forgive me. It's by Peter David and Greg Land. Greg Land is doing cover A. Ron Lim is doing cover B. Alex Suvak is doing cover C. And Philip Tan is doing cover D. We have another facsimile from Marvel this week. It's Thor 229, and an epic cover is that. Truly don't know the significance of that book. You have to excuse me. Thor number 4 by Donnie Cates and Nick Klein. Cover A is by Oliver Kopel. Cover B is by Javier Garin, which is a Spider-Man variant, Spider-Woman variant. And cover C is by Ryan Stegman. You have 3 True Believers books, The Fantastic Four, Avengers, Celestial Quest, and The Young Avengers, all for $1. Venom number 24 by Donnie Cates and Mark Bagley. Mark Bagley is doing cover A. Rock Hee Kim is giving us cover B, which is a Spider-Woman variant. X-Men Fantastic Four number 1 gets a second print. And, yeah, grab that Terry Dodson cover. Last book from Marvel, X-Men number 8 by Jonathan Hickman and Mahmoud Asrar. Leno Francis Yu is doing cover A. Marcos Martin is giving us, I think, that God Loves Man Kills cover for cover B. And cover C is an Unknown Comics variant by Cale New. And that is it for the comics coming out this coming week. For our covers of the week, we have Venom number 24 by Mark Bagley, and that is a homage cover of Amazing Spider-Man number 258, which is a hot book right now. Flash 751, the Howard Porter cover. Flash getting drugged by Godspeed. Gotta love it. Marvel Tales Silver Surfer number 1 by In-Huk Lee. Just a nice, really piece of art right there. Wonder Woman 753, the cover B by Jay Lee. Really kind of like it, even though Wonder Woman looks very Asian. It's pretty dope. And for our cover of the week, Batman and the Outsiders number 11 by Gabriel Dell'Otto. And as I said before, that is a horizontal cover. Magnificent. For our books of the week, of course, we have the second prints of Batman 89 and Year of the Villain number 3. Make sure you grab those if you missed out. And even if you didn't, grab the second prints. Stealth number 1 from Image Comics. And we have Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 1. Just because anything that has to do with the Bounty Hunters of Star Wars, we love that. And Kid Cable. Still calling him Kid Cable. Number 1 by Dugan and Phil Noto. And Decorum by Jonathan Hickman and Mike Huddleston. And of course, we're going to give Thor number 4 by Donnie Cates and Nick Klein, our book of the week. All right, people. Short and sweet. And I'm going to try to do a look to the future video a little bit. It'll probably only be for the books starting coming out in April, I guess. I don't know if the FOC has been done for the books of March. March is pretty much halfway done. But since people have been missing out and not pre-ordering, and these books day one being $50, $60 or even $100 is just ridiculous. So I'm going to try to do a look forward for the month of April, maybe next week or something like that. So you can get a heads up and try to pre-order these books beforehand. And I was looking at that next bit of route, which I think is number 7. And they have another 1 for $10 cover, and it's sold out already everywhere, or you just can't pre-order it, which is ridiculous. And I'm not going to spend $40 just to get one cover, buying 10 copies of the one book so I can get the 1 in 10. But until next time, people, I'll catch you at the same bad time. and at the same bat channel. Peace.